we've seen a lot of smaller teams battle their way through. We've seen a lot of big teams fall by the wayside. We've seen Germany fall, we've seen Spain fall, and we've seen Argentina go down disastrously. Even though I believe the scoreline flattered them a bit against France. How do you think this has come about? How do you think the natural order of the World Cup has been turned upside down this time around?
I think in terms of the teams that have done well or the teams that haven't done well as well, the number of players who are playing elite football now, by elite football I'm talking about top leagues in Europe, has increased. Even if you take a team like Iran, I mean, you look at the wingers of Iran, they play for the top clubs in, you play for the top clubs in, the Netherlands. I mean, so in terms of the exposure that they've got, take for example a team like Morocco. I thought Morocco played very good football in the league stage. Unfortunately, they did not go beyond the league stage. But I remember the Carlos Queiroz coming out. I think Iran played Morocco first up. So he came out and said that, look, Morocco, I mean, if you look at the team, they're all playing in the top quality leagues in Europe. So in terms of number of players that are playing abroad and number of players that are playing in Europe, that has increased. You look at, say, a team like Japan. They did really well, and the second half, the kind of start that they had against Belgium was just immense. Phenomenal, right? I mean, you look at Korea, for example. Son has had an outstanding season with Tottenham Hotspur. So in terms of the kind of teams that you're looking at, Russia was a pleasant surprise, because the minute you think of Russia, I don't know, I mean, your mind invariably goes back to a Capello kind of a system where you're going to be dull, boring, you do not know. To come out and score 5 goals, doesn't matter if it was against Saudi Arabia. I thought Saudi Arabia tried to be expressive, but they were naive at the back, did not want to fall back in numbers, and that's where they conceded the number of goals that they did. I'm sure they'll learn with experience as well. So I think there are no easy games is how I would look at things, and therefore that is what has made a difference. I mean, Spain, when you talk about the big teams doing well, I think it's got to do more with things that happened off the pitch before the start of the tournament. I don't think the coach was really accepted entirely by that dressing room. So that was one of the reasons. You look at Germany. Germany, I think this is with due respects, I mean, I love watching German football. I love watching Joachim Löw as your coach. But this is the slowest German team that I've seen in a long time. And I think, I thought Hummels or probably Boateng also alluded to the fact that he was left all alone when they were smashed by a couple of teams. And therefore, when you look back, I remember, I mean, when Sane was left out of the lineup, I thought, I mean, look, I mean, for all the criticism that people had over Germany, they said Sane shouldn't have been left out, he's got the pace and stuff. I still believed that, look, somebody like Brandt or say a Draxler, I mean, these are guys who have done the job for international football. I always believe that, look, Joachim Löw knows a thing or two about doing the job. I mean, you cannot question Joachim Löw's judgment. But when you saw that in the dying stages of a few of those games, in that game when Kroos scored that magnificent winner, even in that game, I thought if a Sane had come off the bench, you would have been in a one-on-one situation, you could have played down well down the left. But hey, these are all hindsight. That also tells you how much the teams have closed the gap on big teams like Germany. Brazil, we thought, was extremely balanced as a unit because Tite has done an outstanding job in terms of having a Paulinho there. It was not all around a Neymar. You still had a Coutinho. You had players. Willian, I thought, was the best example what a Brazil was. He was a workaholic, up and down the pitch. But again, you had a Belgium, which kind of tactically won that battle on the night against Brazil. So, I mean, I'm not to say that Belgium are a small team, but in terms of tactical nuance, again, we spoke about some big players playing for big clubs now. You look at Belgium. Kevin De Bruyne had a massive season for Manchester City. Lukaku used to play for Everton. Now he's playing for Manchester United, having won the trust of a massive manager like Jose Mourinho. Eden Hazard has been outstanding for Chelsea over the past few seasons. Fellaini is no more at Everton. He's playing for Manchester United. He's won the trust of the manager yet again. The likes of Mertens have always been quoted. Your Courtois has been a top-notch player for Chelsea. You look at that, the defense. You look at Alderweireld or Vertonghen. I mean, these guys are playing for better clubs and the clubs that have done really impressively well. So in terms of experience, I think it has gone up a few notches. So it's only natural that a few of those big teams are beginning to struggle at the hands of the not-so-fancy teams, so to speak.